Hello YouTube and Infinite Magic Ray players. So today we're going to bring you a quick little, I guess you could say patch notes update. We want to go over these new heroes because we're super excited. Not so much about the Epic because I don't care about Doom Legion attackers. We don't need those. We need supports. But anyways, that's a whole different rant. So um, we're just going to put some juicy growling farming on in the background. We got to hit a few points, right? I haven't done this yet. Yeah, we still need 10,000 points, so we're gonna hope that this does it. But we'll play it in the background. So let's get into the patch notes, right? So we've got a Miracle Up banner, and that's coming tomorrow, November 24th, and we've got in the legendary pool Adeline, Mamello, Rister, Moloch, Marvel. So not a bad banner, not a great banner in my opinion. Mamello and Rister are pretty useful. Marvel's kind of been I mean, she's still useful. I'll say that I did rely on Marvel a lot before I got hanged. Before I got hanged, I relied on Marvel a lot. She was a very good dungeon farm hero for me. Moloch, I use a bit in the Faction Abyss, but he's not like he's not the hero. He's not like my favorite. I think we need more support there because Little Jack alone is sufficient for the Faction Abyss. Like we don't need more damage, we need more support. Anyways, Mamuk and Rister, obviously very clutch. Adeline's gonna be phenomenal, and we'll get into her in a little bit. And then for our epics, we've got Dio, Sadface, Yar, Farnell, and Olivia. So Yar, Farnell, and Olivia are pretty useful in their respective factions. I believe Yar is Forgotten, Farnell is Foresters, and Olivia is Hidden Wave. And I believe you can use all of them in your faction Abyss pushes, or your faction Abyss pushes. Uh, so pretty decent epics on the banner. Decent legendaries on the banner. I would say that if you're a new player though, this is a solid banner for you. All of them. But us personally, we're probably gonna wait until the Christmas LTE. We want to see, we're assuming following trend that we're going to get a new LT for Christmas, and of course, following trend is probably going to be broken. Of course, there is no official statement or note that we will get one. This is just speculation and educated guess. Let's jump into the feature adjustments real quick. So what we've got is auto-selling equipment of the designated star level or quality is now available in the batch forge of the workshop. So if you're, summoning 10, 12, 20, 30, 40, however many is a bunch for you at one time, now you can auto sell the equipment that you don't want. So if you don't want the 4 stars from your low summon, or if you don't want the 5 stars from your high summon, now you can just sell them right out the gate, and that's going to be a decent little quality of life feature there. It added enhanced star level display to activated auras. So this quality of life, I'm actually pretty happy about. So what I'm assuming this means is when we go into our auras, right, and we're looking at our overview, I'm assuming that we don't have to click on these auras to find out what they are. I'm assuming that there will be some sort of little icon or something that'll say 5-star, and maybe it'll say level 0. I don't know. Maybe it's just a star level. Yeah, added star level display. Okay, so it is just star level. Maybe it'll appear like right here, so we don't have to like look at it and say, oh, okay, well, we've got this. We need to add a couple stars to Combat Vanguard on Veronica. Like we don't have to go through and click all of these to find out what we need. It'll just be right here, and that's gonna be nice. I'm super excited about that because I do have a bunch of different auras that I'm working on, particularly in the purple department. And the legendary department, of course. Never have enough legendary auras, but we are excited about that. It's gonna be really nice for keeping track and just progressing with that. And then last but not least, it says that they've optimized the display order of heroes on the battle preparation screen in different systems, whatever that means. But I guess without further ado, let's jump into the heroes that we've got. So Dio, I am not thrilled about. He just looks like a boring, basic burn attacker. His S1, the Fiery Hammering, which is his basic attack, deals attack damage to a single enemy with a chance to inflict 1 layer of burn for 2 turns. His hammer impact deals attack damage to all enemies with a chance to inflict 1 layer of burn for 2 turns. His passive, for every 1 stage of detonation damage dealt by Dia, restores self HP with a chance to reduce the target's effect res by 25% for 2 turns. They couldn't even give him like guaranteed. They had to give him a chance. So that's a little bit lame. S4 increases self attack by 40% for 2 turns. Afterwards, deals extra attack damage to a single enemy and deals extra attack damage. This extra damage is considered as detonation damage. Exclusive 1, Hammer Impact, which is the S2, deals an extra 40% attack burn damage. When dealing damage, it increases the chance of inflicting burn by 20%. The exclusive 2, Grumpy Dwarf, when it's triggered, it increases his turn meter. We can assume not by much because he isn't epic, he won't be broken. It'll be like maybe 8% or something like that. And reduces the target's effect res by 50% for 2 turns instead. And then Change Bombardment deals damage to enemies with burn by 35% of the extra damage dealt. And this is a very, very disappointing E3 in my opinion. Because the extra damage dealt from the S4 we're only doing 35% of that from being E3, which is arguably like it's arguably like a you thump somebody on the forehead kind of extra damage from E3, which is crazy in my opinion. This guy's gonna be food tier in my opinion. I don't think that he's gonna be super great. But what is gonna be super great is Adeline, and we're super excited about Adeline because this is an HP burn hero for the Sunset Sages. As you know, we just got Mamello in the Elemental City, and you know he's an HP burn support. So he's also Sunset Sages, and now we've got 2. We've got an HP Burn hero and an HP Burn support for Sunset Sages. I believe that Adeline's going to essentially be a key for some of these later floors. There have been 430 clears already, but this is going to make those stages more attainable for your average player because we're not just relying on Nita anymore. We've got compositions that can be built now. And you know, Mamello's got like the support capabilities. We've got Adeline doing HP burn, working with the HP burn support of Mamello. Just all around between Adeline, Mamello, Nita, say I don't know, Alahan or even Ruin or Elbeck. Like there are a number of different comps and combinations and different synergies that you can put together now, and I'm excited about it. This is going to be good for your faction push. But that's not all this is going to be good for. I believe that this is going to be a groundbreaking hero for Wuthering Coast. Now, in Wuthering Coast, traditionally we've not been able to see very good HP burn teams. Even with the introduction of Mamello, they're still a bit subpar in my opinion. But Adeline introduces a new mechanic, and we're going to get right into it here in a second. The issue with HP burn is when you have 3-4 HP burners all together, you get to 5 stacks pretty much instantly because like Anji Hin by herself will put 5 stacks with one ability, and then you've got 5 stacks, and then at that point they're all kind of stepping on each other's toes. You're not optimizing your damage. It's just it's not a good synergy. It's not a good idea. It's not a good mechanic. It does not work. But Adeline changes this, and we're so excited. So before we start reading off these skills, we need to talk about the Sunset Orb, because the Sunset Orb is essentially a key part to her kit and how these skills work. So we'll have to jump into the passive first, which is Divine Sunset. And this reads, each time Adeline successfully activates the Sunset Orb, she gains 1 layer of Crimson Flash and Electric Microcurrent. When X layers of Electric Microcurrent are stacked, restores self HP by 50% of max HP, casts Crimson Thunderstrike on a random enemy for once, and then certain layers of Electric Microcurrent will be converted into 1 layer of Sunset Light, and then each time Adeline successfully activates Sunset Orb, consumes part of her max HP. If her current HP is less than a certain percentage, the activation will fail. We need to pause right here because this is what's going to make or break this hero. It's going to depend on what this percentage threshold is, because if it is capped at something really stupid, like say it's 80%, 90%, something like just completely unreasonable, then she's garbage binned immediately. It really this should be like 50%. If it's less than 50%, then the activation will fail. If it's something like that, then we can move forward with assuming that Adeline is going to be a very good HP burn hero for the Wuthering Coast team. So now let's take a look at Crimson Flash and Sunset Light. Crimson Flash, each layer will increase self-mastery up to 10 layers. It will be removed at the end of self-turns. Sunset Light increases max HP and skill damage dealt by self up to 12 layers. Will not be removed when the owner dies at the wave transition, or at the wave transition. So, Sunset Light, very useful. Crimson Flash, not so useful, but she does have exclusives that change this, so we'll get into that in a minute. But this really reads like a scaling hero. Like she's going to start out doing kind of mid damage, and then as she goes on into the fight, she's going to be doing a lot more. She's going to be hitting very hard, and it's going to be good. It's going to be a really good hero in my opinion. So let's jump right on into the S1, the Crimson Thunderstrike. What she does here is she tries to activate one Sunset Orb. Afterwards, deals damage and HP burning damage based off her max HP to a single enemy. So the way that I'm assuming this works, right, is that if her HP threshold is not below that certain percent, when she tries to activate it, it will. And that's what it means by tries to activate, is that her HP would have to be above the amount for this to work. And I'm assuming that, you know, as long as that HP cap isn't a weird, stupid number, then a majority of the time she will activate these. So it seems like the whole kit's based around activating these, and of course, you know, the more of these that you activate, the more damage that she's going to be doing. So it does make sense to have some sort of healing or something with her, so that way you can keep her at max HP all the time and guarantee the activations of these orbs. So the S2 says that she tries to activate the Sunset Orb twice continuously. Afterwards, deals 3 stages of damage and HP burning damage based on her max HP, each to a single enemy. Each stage has a chance to inflict 1 layer of HP burning for 2 turns. And that would be the S2. What I don't know here is if the 3 stages of damage and the 3 stages of HP burning damage are independently, can they all stack up, or can they all inflict a layer of HP burning, or is it just 3 stages altogether? This S2 can potentially land three stacks of HP burn. We don't know, but we will find out. And then her S4, the Crimson Tornado, this is what makes her so unique as an HP burner. This is what makes HP burn Wuthering Coast possible, in my opinion. This is going to be really useful. So, Crimson Tornado. Adeline tries to activate Sunset Orb 3 times continuously. Afterwards, deals 5 stages of damage and HP burning damage based off of her max HP, each to a single enemy. Before each stage deals damage, if the target has HP burning, removes 1 layer of HP burning from them and deals extra damage. This extra damage is considered HP burning damage. So what this opens up the potential for, right, is say you've got a team like, I don't know, say Nered, Anji Hin, Adeline, Mamello, and Panda or something, you know? What you would do is speed tune this team for, you would probably have like your Nered with a combat vanguard go first, and then your Mamello would probably go second and apply the deep HP burn, and then your Adeline would go. She would start with the S2, and then your Anji would go, or your Anhijin would go, and slam out the HP burn stacks because that's what she's gonna do. And then the next round, the Adeline, she'll remove them all, and then if the Anji goes after the Adeline, she can reapply them all right after they've been removed. So that's gonna be a super unique mechanic. You're gonna have to tune this team to make this work, but you can essentially deal all this extra damage from this S4 while still inflicting max HP burn stacks pretty much the entire fight. So this is a very unique mechanic. This makes HP burn possible, or like HP burn team possible, because in the past we have not been able to see HP burn teams do even decent damage really. But with Mamello and with Adeline now, um, and with these new HP burners that can inflict a bunch of stacks at one time, like on Heejin, this is huge. This is I'm excited. I am raving about Adeline. But enough of that. Let's take a look at her exclusive. So, exclusive 1 reduces the HP consumed each time Sunset Orb is activated, and then when casting Crimson Thunderstorm and Crimson Tornado, adds to 2 activations essentially of the Sunset Orb. So now the S1, right? Is it the S1 or no, the S2. So now the S2 will try to activate 4 stacks, and the S4 will try to activate 5 stacks. So a lot of orb stacks going off here. So this is going to be huge, because also the more orbs that she activates, the higher that she'll stack the Sunset Light. Well, the Sunset Light's permanent, but the higher she'll stack the Crimson Flash. So she'll be able to get up to, reasonably a decent amount of layers here. And then the Sunset Light, obviously, you'll just get to max stacks quicker. So this is useful. Exclusive 2, the Crimson Flash gained by Adeline during her turns will last until the end of her next turn. So this is huge. This is tremendous, because now she can have that mastery and do like the Crimson Tornado, and that's going to be like a wombo combo chain right there. It's going to be great. So now the Crimson Flash during her turns will last until the end of her next turn, and when there are 2 more layers of Sunset Light, she will gain 1 layer of Crimson Flash for 1 turn each time an ally casts an active skill. So this exclusive 2 is the tipping point for Adeline, in my opinion. This is what's going to make her extremely useful, because now every time your allies cast skills, she's getting Crimson Flash. Every time that it extends the duration of her Crimson Flash to not the end of her turn, but the end of the next turn. So that in and of itself, she'll be able to make use of the increased mastery. So I'm really excited about the exclusive 2, and then the exclusive 3 is each layer of Crimson Flash additionally increases her HP burning damage dealt. When there are 4 or 8 or more layers of Sunset Light, each layer of Crimson Flash increases her HP burning damage dealt. So it looks like the wait a second. When there are 4/8 or more layers of Sunset Light, each layer of Crimson Flash increases. I think this is a little bit confusing to me. So I guess that base, the base Crimson Flash will increase the HP burning damage dealt, and then as the fight goes on, when she hits this 4/8 or more layers of Sunset Light, it will additionally increase the HP burning damage dealt. So this this hero kind of reads like Little Jack in a sense. I'm not gonna compare her to Little Jack, but she will scale as this fight goes on. She will do tremendous amounts of damage. We're super excited about the Adeline. And I I think that this is going to be a huge hero. I think that we're going to see her a lot in the faction Abyss. I think we're going to see her create new Wuthering Coast HP Burn teams. I think we've got a lot of potential here, and I'm super excited. So, thank you if you've made it this far, listening to me read off these skills. Again, if you like the content that we're putting out, you like the PvE advice, you like what we're going, the direction that we're going with this channel, please like and subscribe, please comment, please interact, please leave suggestions on future videos. I try to read all the comments, I try to respond to them, and, we're trying to put out content that people are looking for. So, again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one.